didn't. I didn't have a goat ready.
You didn't? You're slacking on your goat duties?
I don't know, dude. There's just so much going on all the time, you know? Sometimes the goats get forgotten. The goats get left behind.
Speaking of a lot going on, this is a special edition of the Dollar Box Live, isn't it? It's a special day for you.
No.
No? I mean, it's not possibly a birthday or anything.
Everyone has one.
It's not special. Everyone has one.
Everyone has one.
It's like excuses.
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday anyway, even if you're not celebrating it. Uh-oh. Frozen up. Did we lose you there, Adam? Looks like he's going to need a minute to reconnect. Having some technical difficulties there. So, we've got a great show planned for you today. Maybe not as much prepared as we did the last couple of weeks. A little more free form this week. Of course, we'll talk about Adam's birthday. We'll talk about our weekend at the GOAT Card Show. Had a great time there. Hopefully, you all had a chance to check out the live from the GOAT Card Show. Had a full house early on. Football kicked off around noon, and had a few folks, head home to watch TV. But we had people, foot traffic there all day long, so it was another good turnout. As we said leading up to the show, we had to sell out the tables and add some more. And Adam and I didn't even have a table to sell. We had enough vendors there, so that was great. And then we've got a couple other things planned for you tonight. We're going to take a few minutes and talk about value box targets for this weekend. Give you a couple of names that if we were digging in boxes, we'd be kind of looking for some of these guys or gals, as it may be. And then we've got a little game plan for you. Kind of with the theme, there's Adam back with us, kind of with the theme of hobby or no, without the big production value. We're going to play a little bit of guess the comps on a few cards. Adam and I are going to pick some cards at random, give you a look at them, and see what we think the comp should be on those. So plenty to do here in the next couple hours, but glad to see you made it back in there, Adam. I just gave him kind of a rundown of some of the things we have planned today, talking about the GOAT Card Show, your birthday, of course, talking about a few value box targets for the weekend, and then, of course, guess the comps.
Yo, YouTube. We got to get that in there quick. Yeah, Charlie came up with some good ideas and some stuff to do tonight. I want to add one little tiny thing to the guess the comp, and that is getting a lot of glare. That is, we're going to also tell you what we paid for the card.
Okay.
Because that might influence what you think it could sell for.
Sure. That would mean I have to remember what I gave for all these.
Well, you should have a pretty good idea. Don't tell your accountant you don't know.
Well, I think my point is when you bring home a couple hundred cards, what do you pay for each individual one? I usually average it all out.
Well, then go with that. That works.
Yeah.
So, all right. Let's see. What do we want to start with? Let's start with the GOAT Show review. So we had our 5th GOAT Show, I think. It was our 1-year anniversary of the show. And we had 86 dealers. So it was the most full show we've ever done. As a matter of fact, we had so many vendors that Charlie and I gave up our dealer tables.
Yeah.
And just did stage shows instead and helped the breakers and things like that. I did get into the break, the Disney Chrome break. So I don't know if you've read anything online about these recently. Well, I mean, it just came out Thursday or something like that.
Yeah.
But people are complaining about the quality of the cards, and like mine are all perfect. So I don't know if I just got lucky or what, but they're like, oh yeah, there's creases and dimples and scratches, and like my cards are all like perfectly shiny, tops chrome quality type stuff. So
Yeah.
now it's kind of weird, but these are all the cards I hit in that break. Isn't that insane for $59?
That's something. Here, let me show you all the cards I hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
That's what
only
I'm
bought
talking
one
about.
spot. Then.
Everybody, yeah, and everybody passed on Chicken Little. And when I did some research, there's an entire insert set just dedicated to like the 25th anniversary of Chicken Little or something.
Okay.
And the buy-in spot for Chicken Little was $5. Sorry, I dropped one. And these alone are my Chicken Little cards that I hit. Isn't that
That's
crazy?
pretty
There's like
crazy.
30 some cards. I did get a numbered one. This is Chicken Little out of 150, this blue sparkly refractory thing. Ton of the inserts. I think that was it for the numbered Chicken Little cards, but I got a few other numbered cards too. I got a couple of Animal from the Muppets.
Yeah.
Numbered cards. I got some good refractors. I'll try to show you what I got here. This is Wreck-It Ralph refractor. Pretty cool. It was kind of a Disney day because we bought all the Cacao stuff too, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Yes.
I got a pink refractor of Wreck-It Ralph, numbered out of 250. See, it's numbered up here. Yeah. I got a refractor Piggy. Moi. I got a refractor. If you get a refractor Piggy, you got to get a refractor Kermit, right?
Kermit the Frog here.
Kermit. And then, yeah, here's the Animal, which is the Disney logo refractor, I guess is what it's called. This is numbered out of 101. I think that's pretty sweet. And then I got another one of those blue sparkle refractors out of 150, like the Chicken Little. I got a bunch of other cards too. I think those were like kind of the hits, if you will. Did get one Baymax and 3 heroes out of my Big Hero 6 purchase. And then I bought Lightyear because I know there's a Buzz Lightyear movie coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, oh, that's a great time to buy that. I got one Lightyear card, and it's not even friggin' Buzz. It's the chick one. What's her name?
Oh.
Izzy Lightyear. So I was like, oh, that's kind of random. That a whole case and we didn't get one Buzz Lightyear card. That seemed really weird.
So I realized my flaw in my strategy afterwards. I was kind of hemming and hawing between a couple spots, and I ended up going with Dumbo. And my thought was, oh, Dumbo is a big, recognizable, beloved character. You know, if I hit a Dumbo, there'll be some value there. What I failed to think about is how many other popular characters are there in Dumbo that they would put in a set?
Right.
Can you
None.
name other characters from Dumbo?
No, that's why I didn't buy Dumbo.
There's the Crows. Maybe
Yeah.
you'll get a Crows card. And there's Timothy Q. Mouse.
Well, you
Other
have
than
to look at
that,
you have to look at the checklist of what they put in the set.
Yeah.
So when I when I saw the Chicken Little, I was like, dang, that's a good buy for $5.
Yeah.
You know, even if
They
I
had
only
a
get
lot
a
of
buck a
characters
card,
in
I mean, I got like 20 some cards of that.
Yeah.
Even if I only get a buck a card, and I pulled a numbered card and an refractor besides, so
Yeah.
that was like my best spot, and it was kind of last minute. I just added some spots to my buy, and I was like, dude, Chicken Little's $5, and look at all these. There was like 30 different cards
Yeah.
on the checklist for Chicken Little. So
Yeah, that
anyway,
was my mistake because I bought in at the show at last minute as well. And I did no research. I just looked at the spots that were available and I picked a name.
like a good businessman, that's how we
Donated
invest.
my
Just
money.
pick it at random. Yeah, it was a great break. After my Seahawks break last time, I got a whole bunch of Seahawks cards, but they were all, it was all junk, of course.
Yeah.
Seahawks rookie class last year was not so great. But I did not buy into the Donruss football break at all. I don't know, I just wasn't interested in it, and I had committed pretty good to buy into the Disney, so I just kind of stuck with that. Disney's kind of been my thing. Did you see that? Speaking of which, total segue here. I can't focus on one thing tonight, just FYI. So we're going everywhere. I had a lot going on today, first of the month and all that good jazz. Did you see they announced a new Disney set called, and it's Topps Chrome, called Royalty or something like that, I think, and it's all about like the princesses.
About it. I didn't really dig into it.
Yeah, it's a Fanatics pre-order thing right now. But yeah, they're doing different tiers in the box. So there's going to be like princesses, villains, and I don't know, something else. So I was like, man, they're really doing some Disney work with the Topps Chrome. So I still like Kakawao better though.
Yeah, Kakawa's got some really nice designs.
Their cards are different than other cards. Is like the only way I can really put it. I mean, yeah, there's Chinese on it, that makes it different too, but just like the designs, they go for more like elegant designs, right? Like the borders. Yes. Here's a good example.
Thicker card stock.
They go for like more elegant designs and really nice like frilly patterns and a lot of creativity in like the foil, right? They more the Dufex foil design like there was in the 90s. Here, maybe I can reduce the glare a bit and you can actually see it. There you go. That's a little better. But like this is one of their die cuts. Like that's a nice looking card. And it's got freaking a blue ant on it, like they just went so elegant for these random like Pixar characters and stuff, But yeah, I mean even the back.
Look in on those die cuts.
I did. I bought every single one of them. No love for Charlie. Charlie was still the winner on the damn scratch offs, from what I hear. So
true. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you get yours. You're fine. But maybe we'll choose some Kakawao for our comp the card comp.
I've got some set aside for that actually.
Nice. All right. Anyway, back to the GOAT show. I thought it was a great show. I found lots of stuff to buy. Mike Dudinsky in the corner had some really awesome quarter boxes. I wish I would have gotten there earlier because I kind of caught it at the end of the show.
Yeah, you got yourself in trouble sitting there too.
I did. Yeah, I was it's so easy to have time get away from you in those boxes, and I enjoy talking to Mike besides, so that probably didn't help, and yeah, I just kind of got lost track. And then I was like, oh shoot, I got to get up there. Well, I got to count the cards and pay for them. I can't just walk away, so I kind of got stuck there longer than I should have. But anyway, you had some good stuff. I picked up a little football, a little baseball, lots of Kakawao. I had the Disney break. And then what I really liked about Mike's quarter boxes, and I'll try to show you some. I think I have some stacked here. But he had a lot of like 2011, 2012, 2013 set stuff. Like I got Aaron Donald rookies, stuff like that. You don't see that stuff in boxes at all, really. So I was pretty excited about it. Lots of, I got some Jared Goff rookies. Out of quarter boxes, it's good stuff. So I could have kept going. Yeah, I had one box left to go through, but clearly I was out of time.
Yeah.
So there was some, to be fair and transparent, there was definitely some frustrations with the show. Not necessarily the show itself. I felt like, we made the we did our part, but the venue kind of failed on, to some degree to us with lighting, issues and things like that. So it did add to some frustration for the day. Um, Mostly on our part. Hopefully, the dealers and the customers and stuff didn't see that too much.
Yeah.
But um, at one point, I was on the stage and I was kind of looking down. And I'm like, man, it seems like there's less people here. But then I thought about it more, and it's like, yeah, but we have that whole extra section all full. So it was like
Yeah,
you
that
just
back
spread your
section.
people out. Yeah. So it was like at one point, it was like there was more people in the back section than there was in the main section. Um, I thought that was kind of interesting. The beef tip sandwiches were back and they were amazing. They were very delicious. So I liked that. We've all been kind of anticipating getting that back at some point because we had it on the first show and haven't had it since.
Yep, Max missed out on the beef tip sandwiches.
Yep, yep. So uh, hopefully that will come back. But yeah, we've got a show lined up for January 4th, so get that on your calendars. You got plenty of time to plan. If you're going to come in from out of town, let us know ahead of time. We'll help you out with some accommodations and show you around the town and make a fun weekend out of it. Get your tables booked. If you were a prior vendor, you know how to get a hold of us and set your tables up. Get your tables set up, whatever. You know what I mean. Buy your tables. Buy your damn tables. Because we had a lot of demand in this show. Like even late, like the day before the show, we were getting calls. Like, can I get a table? I know it's last minute. Is there any tables? It's crazy the demand for tables. So, if you're gonna want to be at the show and you know that date's gonna work for you to make it, try to book it out and get your tables now if you've been a prior vendor. If you're a brand new vendor looking to book, you just have to wait until we open it up, for the public bookings, and we'll notify everyone that way. And Charlie and I will talk about it on live, of course, too, when it's open for anybody to book. And then on our contact information, just email us and we'll set you up with the table.
You got it.
So, but yeah, my buying experience is always great at the Goat Show. It didn't disappoint again. I didn't even get to like half the dealers. Between doing a longer live show, your blog, and then kind of helping with the breakers and doing a few other things, running around, taking care of some venue stuff. I felt like I got a late start to buying too because we were still
Same.
setting up. Like, you were on stage setting up all our stuff up there, which that needed to be done. I couldn't really help with that because I'm running around like delivering garbage cans because he never got placed out. Getting more chairs because we didn't have enough chairs. Like it was like a whole thing. Trying to get all the lights on, things like that. So, yeah, it felt like it sort of pushed us back a little bit. And then we had to rent some tables and bring them with us because we booked more tables than they had. So that kind of set us back too because we had to set up. All the other tables were set up, of course, but we had to set up our own that we brought in. So that took
Right.
get them out of the trailer and getting them in and setting them up.
Yeah, that was something that, unexpected we had to plan against.
Yeah. So probably I don't even know if I'd say probably. I don't think it compares to any other show. It was probably the most frustrating one, just the logistic parts of it more than anything else, just getting everything going. And then, there was some stuff during the show that was I don't know, the vibe wasn't as the last show, the show before this, I was like, man, that was like one of the greatest card shows I'd ever been to. And not biased statement either. It was just that was how it felt, and how
You had a great day, yeah.
the feedback was, and the dealers loved it and all that, and great customers show up and lots of sales, and this one was it just felt a little. But I've been hearing that about other shows too. I don't know if you've caught wind of that, but
No.
it feels like a lot of other shows are kind of like, it's like people were crabby and venues weren't doing their parts, and it feels like there's that little bit of a trend of it going on right now. Maybe some of it's like burnout or just time of year. I don't know.
It could be. It's kind of a changing of the seasons again too, right?
Yep. It was a Packers, it was a football Sunday, but the Packers didn't play till 7:00. So I have a hard time believing like that's a big factor into whether or not somebody goes to a card show. I don't know. Especially when you start at 9, like you could go from 9 to 11 or 11:30 and still make, first games kickoffs, right? Kickoffs at noon. And I mean we did see, a little bit of a decrease in traffic, I would say, after the noon hour, but I don't
Yeah.
know. I didn't feel like it was like a ginormous factor or anything.
No, it was still pretty steady, even after that. There's always kind of that rush at the beginning of the show. The doors open. We've had some people waiting to get in, and so it wasn't too much different than that. But I mean, I think we expected a little bit of foot traffic to drop off once kickoff came around.
Yeah. And I don't know if you know this, but there was also 6 card shows in Wisconsin on Sunday.
Oh, really?
Now one of them was the Madison Pokemon show, so but it's still a card show, right? I mean, Pokemon's still a big part of any card show. So, not just sports shows, but there was that one too. But that was one of the 6. But it was like, holy crap, that's a lot of shows in our little state. And then there was like, I don't know how many on Saturday besides, so because the Madison sports one was that day. And then I know there was a couple of other ones. Obviously, if there's a bunch on Sunday, there was a few on Saturday too. So, might have just been like, man, just everybody trying to, everybody just getting pulled in a lot of directions. And sometimes it's just how it lands, right? I mean, we've had weekends where we've scheduled our show and there's literally no other shows. It's like, wow, this is awesome. But that doesn't always happen, especially this time of year. Almost everybody wants to do like a September show, right? Beginning of football season and things like that. So I think it's just, it's kind of a natural time. And a lot of shows don't do stuff in summer because it's, kind of the break from that, right? People are outside and that kind of thing. So I think the natural thing is to go, okay, well, we won't do a show in summer, so we do one in September, right? That's your kind of your first month back. So, but anyway, I think it was a really good experience. I really like having the live break. I think that's a fun part of the show. To have that on the monitors and be a part of that and buy into that. It's really fun at the end of the show to kind of go back there and go, hey, did I get anything?
Right.
At one point I went up on the stage like mid break and I'm gonna forget his name. I think it's Ben. Don't shoot me if I'm wrong, but the breaker. He kind of turned to me and he's like,
or the other guy.
oh, Fred.
Yeah.
He turns to me and he goes, you're hitting pretty good in this break. And I'm like, what? I never get nothing. I didn't win on any of my damn scratch cards either. But yeah, it was pretty cool to just kind of have that sort of being as a part of it as everything else was going on. So hope we can continue that. That's a lot of fun. And just doing a break of like not football cards was fun too. Just doing something different.
Yeah, that is a big thing. Because we talk about that a lot of times. That's what's great about getting into non-sports sometimes, right? Like, oh, another football card, another baseball card, another basketball card. Hey, something different that looks totally, different and has a different experience. So that was great.
I mean, freaking Chicken Little cards, dude. That's crazy. It's crazy that it even exists. And then even in kind of a premium product besides. It was fun. I'll probably go back and watch some of that break when I have time, which is never really a thing, but I'll fit it in there somewhere. Because I think it would be kind of fun to actually watch it too. We can't watch it at the show. We got too much to do, but
exactly. I gotta grab something. I'll be right back.
Okay. So yeah, that's kind of my review on the GOAT card show. I think, my regular buys, the stuff I was expecting to be able to pick up, I got. I picked up some of the seasonal Kakawau Disney stuff where it's like different holidays. So it's like, I'm trying to think. I think I have a pack.
You're digging deep for it.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember where I put them. But yeah, anyway, so they just do such kind of creative set. Thought it was in here. 9:30. Oh gosh, I don't know.
We'll give you a break since
I
it's
thought
your
it was right
birthday.
with that. Oh, stop at the birthday crap. Here it is. I found it. I also listed some Squishmallows.
Nice.
Yeah. Ooh, nice pack grip sound there. But look at these like sweet. That's Sully and Mikey, right? As a on a Halloween card, from Monsters
Yeah,
Inc. Right.
those are nice. I was jealous you grabbed this.
So I bought anything holidays, right? Well, I was jealous you found some Christmas cards. I was like, damn it, that's my thing. It should be. It's everybody's thing. But there's really cool like Chinese holiday ones. Like this is the Lantern Festival, right? Here's another Halloween one, Goofy as a mummy. I just think this stuff is cool. Like you're not going to see that here. This is probably my favorite one of all of them. The Stitch Hanukkah card.
Yes.
Right? Like that stuff's awesome. There's Valentine's Day. So all the princesses are on like Valentine's Day themed cards. Here's Buzz Lightyear on Children's Day, which I'm assuming is a thing in China.
It's a day all about the children.
Right. There's some Thanksgiving ones. It's kind of them playing in the leaves. Some kind of more of an autumn theme. The Dragon Boat Festival. I don't even know what that is, but sounds cool. The Double Seventh Festival. There were some cards for that. Like there's Nemo and Dory. Yeah, they're just sweet. Easter. There's different Easter cards. They have these like kind of Easter grass color backgrounds to them. And here's the Bruno Autumn Festival. We don't talk about him, I guess. I don't know.
You don't?
I don't know. I don't follow all that stuff. But the Halloween ones were my favorite. There was only one Christmas card, which I kind of figured. I think the Christmas stuff probably does the best. There's this Daisy Christmas card where she's carrying all the presents. So anyway, so that's probably my favorite buy of the whole weekend, just because I didn't even know those existed, and I got the whole pack. It's like 35 or 40 cards. I get the whole pack for I think $15 or $20. So. And that stuff is super expensive now because it's all got to be imported. They don't sell it here. You have to buy it and get it shipped over.
Yeah.
Which makes it a little tougher. So anyway, your hot takes from the show. Ready and go.
I think, what we've seen is consistently positive experiences. And we continued that trend, right? Like, good crowds, had more and more people coming that I had talked to outside of the show and talked to them about it. Jenny said the same thing, talking to people before the show comes up, really pays off because we see more and more of those people and have more conversations. I like that we didn't have our tables because I felt like I could spend more time just talking to dealers and
I tried to do that too,
doing and things like that. So really enjoyed doing the live. We did the live a little bit different this time. I think we had a little more content for folks, and then you were kind enough to help me with my podcast afterwards, and I think all of that went off well. So I think we continued our trend of a successful, different experience in the Green Bay area. That's what we were going for. The The food drive had fantastic results.
Yeah, I was just going to talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, filled up a big chunk of the back of my truck and took that over this week, and they were very appreciative of the efforts for that. So thank you to
It's
everyone
like
that
120
donated.
pounds of food or something like that,
Right,
125 pounds of
right.
food
Yeah,
and couple $100 and um, money donations, if you will, because we sold the tickets for the drawing for the prizes. And yeah, I think that's the part that will always make it worth it no matter how it goes, is the fact that we can help somebody in our community. There's a lot of people who need help, and right now some things seem to be piling up for some people. There's some economic struggles, and anything we can do to try to help with that and give back to the community. And our guests at our show are awesome. They all want to donate and bring things and buy tickets into the drawings. By the way, we have an awesome we're not going to announce it yet, but we have actually a couple of really nice items that were donated for our charity giveaway for the next show. So when we get more put together, we got to recover from this one for a little bit first. When we get the
yeah,
next one more ready to be put together, we'll talk about that. But I know what the items are, and they're good ones. Not that the ones we've had weren't, but you'll like this. This will be good. Um, yeah, I really like that part. I think that's an important piece, and it is something kind of unique to our show that we tie that a charity effort to it. And I really like the ones where somebody can bring something in and get entered into the drawing. I think that's fun. To collect a bunch of bags of food is pretty awesome in my mind.
yeah.
It's a good visual. We have space at the show. We can set up a couple of big tables and put all the food on it, and um, it's just nice. It makes you feel good. Um, I don't ever want anybody to go hungry. I don't care who you are. That is not every human should be able to eat. Um, so if we can, if that's a problem, we can carve any kind of little dent into that problem. I love it. That's my favorite.
The hide the goat went over really well again too.
Yeah,
I heard a lot of chatter about
yeah.
that.
It was interesting because I was at a table not too far from our head table, um, our check-in table, whatever you want to call it, our concierge service. I kind of like that. But anyway, they announced, the hide a goat or find a goat, whatever we call it. I don't know. And like a minute later, a kid comes over with the gold goat. I was like, "What? The gold goat got found already?" So we made kind of the team decision to put out another gold goat because we wanted to have, there was a lot of people who hadn't even been in the show yet, that we wanted to give them a chance to also be able to find the big money goat, the $20 goat. So we put a second one out. I think that was a fun choice. I think that was the right thing to
It
do.
was.
And yeah, I talked to a couple of kids when I was back at Keith's table, looking probably for the third time at Kakawal stuff. There's a young boy there with his mom, and she's like, "Oh, keep looking, you'll find a goat." So they were having a good time just walking around trying to find goats. And
Yeah,
um, I think that's a really fun piece for us as well. It adds value to the dealers. It adds value to our guests. It adds value to the experience at the show. It's very family friendly. It provides an activity, a free activity for anybody to participate in, and heck, you get a few bucks towards some cards that you want. So I really like that. I think that was truly one of the highlights of our show is to find a goat.
I agree. I love it.
And
I
the
love
dealers
that
like
game.
it. The dealers like participating in it, right? They get to hide the little goat, and when somebody finds it, oh, here you go, to bring this up to the table and get your $5 or $20, whatever the goat is. And and they have to spend it at the show, so it's good for our dealers too, right? It gets us reinvesting back into our dealers, because obviously the real money comes from the show funds. Um, and we let the customer go and pick something out. I think that's good. That's good stuff.
Absolutely. Well, I want to jump into a little bit of chat just so we stay kind
Yeah.
of current. Snappy is first in tonight. He says, "Happy Wednesday, fellas. 6:08 on the dot."
Hey, I even said that on the live. I said we start at 8 o'clock sharp, so at 8:08 expect us to be live. And that was it. It was 8:08 tonight, so it's almost like we tried.
Yep.
You know,
Art Green says, "Happy birthday, Adam."
whose birthday is it? Stuart's?
His birthday. Lofi Joe's here. Also says, "Happy birthday. May you pull a Mad Hatter Tea Party card."
Ooh, that would be amazing. I did buy some Mad Hatters this weekend, though. Ironically enough, some
Did
Cacawao
you?
Mad Hatters. Yeah, I bought a couple of is the Cosmos, just base, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, Alice in Wonderland stuff has always done very well for me. So Mad Hatter, I mean, come on, it's Mad Hatter. I bought Cheshire Cat. I bought a couple of Alice's. So yeah, very nice cards.
Max says, "Good to hear the show went well. Sorry I was unable to make this one. We know we'll see you again, Max. Sometimes those booking conflicts are going to happen. We understand."
Yeah, you were definitely missed. I had a few people that asked me about you. Hey, where's the dealer who's here? Where's Max? So yeah, it was definitely noticed. I had to chuckle when I first went over there and I saw it was the beef tips. I was like, oh, Max is gonna be so mad. Um, and it's not the kind of thing where it's like, well, I'll pick one up for you and I'll say, no, you can't do that with that kind of thing. So
Right.
unfortunately, you gotta be there. You gotta miss. That's how it is. But it was delicious.
It was.
I enjoyed it just as much as I did the previous time we had it. So
We brought
it
some
was nice.
home too, and I enjoyed it later
Did
in the
you?
evening too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It was like, what did they do? They did it like a combo plate thing, right? Like you got that and chips, and it was $8 or something,
Right.
I think. So pretty good price for tenderloin beef sandwich
Yeah.
and chips for $8. That's one of the things I like about that menu is it's a little more fun than just chicken fingers and decent value. I think the value is pretty good.
Right. And Max says he sold a mega chrome box of Disney in Madison and a good customer hit on an Elsa numbered out of 10.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't get anything I didn't buy the Frozen spot, so I wouldn't have got the Elsa anyway, but I don't know if there was something big in our break, if there was anything like out of 10 or less.
Yeah, that's
Um,
good point.
I'll have to go back and watch. I know. Yeah, it's starting. I know when I was talking to Fred, he said they hit a 1 of 1 Winnie the Pooh um back at the shop when they were doing some breaks, at
Okay.
BB's. So it's like, wow, that's a pretty big card. I saw the Walt Disney 101 got pulled. Um, that should be a pretty big card, I would think.
Yeah. Yeah, I know they had pulled some at the store that were really nice, but I didn't get a chance to hear what the best hits were at the.
Yeah, he told me the Winnie the Pooh Superfractor was like the big one. And they pulled a Samuel L. Jackson auto.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They pulled those though in a different break at the store.
Correct.
They weren't pulled at
Yes.
the show. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But
All
yeah,
right.
pretty cool.
Barton Collectibles, Cards and Collectibles is here and wants to know if I would rather see the Brewers play the Cubs or the Padres. Well, I would love to see them play the Cubs. Let's end this.
It'll end. That would end it for you right there. Yeah, I think more people would want to see that. I mean, there's not much of a Brewers Padres rivalry, right? So
No, there's
the
not.
Brewers Cubs, you got your north south, Wisconsin border, Illinois border type matchup there. I think that would do baseball some good for sure.
Yeah, I would agree.
Plus,
What else
makes
we got
travel
here?
easier.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Max says there's a show in Madison, Rapids, the Goat Card Show, Deco. Where else did we have a show?
Yeah, I think there was one in
Bo says one in the Dells too.
Wisconsin Dells. Yeah, Wisconsin Dells, which is like pretty close to Madison. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, they were all kind of within a short drive of each other, I guess,
I
for
mean,
Wisconsin, right?
yeah, and ours was the same day, but ours is 3 hours away too. Like you gotta, you know, I mean, you have to allow more than one show in a state, in different sides of it, because you're not going to service everybody in one spot. So, a few shows, but yeah, 6 in one day it's kind of crazy.
It is. But that's kind of what we hear out of a lot of people in like our Discord, right? Is man, you're really lucky to have so many shows around in your
Yeah.
area.
Yeah, we are. I mean, I'm not going to as many as I once did because I have so much. I mean, I would only go to buy inventory essentially, and I have a lot. um, it's hard to keep up with the listing, but I'm not short on cards to list, so uh, I see a little less of them than I did the last couple of years when I was, just really trying to buy up.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how many. I don't know how many we need. Like, I don't. It's not that kind of thing, right? Like, it's somebody wants to run a card show and they can book tables. Well, there's another card show,
Yeah.
But yeah, our show is like I said, we're 5 shows in now. Pretty solid show. We've got a good solid dealer base. People know what it is. When we first were like the goat show, they're like, "What the hell is that?" Now when you talk about it, it's pretty known, and that's a big step to, and that's a big obstacle to overcome, right? People know who you are. Drop a lot of flyers off. All the flyers get picked up. So there's definitely interest. Yeah, I don't think you'd grab a flyer if you weren't interested in going.
Yeah, we're
Um,
always having to replenish those.
yeah, so we just, we keep trying to do our part and, promoting the event and getting it out listed on all the card show websites and getting it in all the community, as many community bulletin boards and groups that we can, and making regular posts and doing promoted posts, and you just do as much with it as you can, and hope everybody enjoys themselves and want to be there.
Right.
And it feels like that's the case. So I think it's going well overall.
All right. Well, I think we're just about caught up in the chat. We got one more. Let's see. Barton Cards and Collectibles says, great video this week. I recognize the guest you had on it from somewhere. Yeah, Adam was kind enough to sit down with me for the weekly episode of my podcast, and kind of share his story with us from his early days as a collector to now being a promoter here in the Green Bay area. So thanks again for doing that. I thought it was good to hear your story, and it helps others who are maybe thinking about getting into this business, help them make their decisions. And we kind of talked about some of the things to look out for, some of the things that are really rewarding. So I thought it was a good discussion.
Yeah, I appreciate you asking me to be on there. I was happy to do it. I mean, you've helped my channel quite a bit, and um, we promote the show together and things like that. So it made a lot of sense, to be able to share it on your channel. But yeah, I don't think I have a unique story. Maybe to the extent I've taken it now with promoting a show and running 2 stores on eBay and all that kind of stuff. But um, I think a lot of us started out as kids buying some packs and did a couple of shows, and when shows were hot and heavy in the '90s, and then kind of got away from it and went to college and chased girls and did all that kind of stuff. And then now we're back in it, and now we're trying to figure out, well, how do we make an impact in this? How do we grow this? How do we get the next generation of kids into it? And um, the things that we're doing kind of make sense, fit for that. So
Absolutely.
yeah, it's good. And we were both in the same place at the same time. That kind of makes that easier
It made it easier. Yeah.
because that doesn't happen that often. As
Right.
contrary to everybody's belief, we have very, very, very busy lives all on our own, and then this is just a piece that we share together. So
We see each other
yeah.
regularly online and chat
Uh-huh.
back and forth on a regular basis, probably daily. we don't see each other face to face very often.
No, no, no. We have different activities. We live in different areas, and yeah, it's there's paths don't cross for everything, right?
Right. Right. Uh, Bradley Helston is here and says he went to the Wisconsin Rapids show on Sunday, didn't find much and not that busy. Well, yeah, I mean, with the amount of shows that were going on, somebody probably had to get the short end of things, right?
As a buyer though, that's the
Prime real
best.
estate.
That's the best. So like, the first dealer I bought from, I was the first one in any of the boxes that I went through. And then I got to Keith with the Cacao. I was the first one to get to the Cacao stuff and made those buys. And then I went to Mike's stuff a little bit later, but he told me that hardly anybody even went into boxes. He sells other stuff too. He sells a lot of wax and that kind of thing. So I was like, man, I was like getting good hits out of all this stuff because some of the competition I would normally, have, especially right away in the morning, wasn't there. And Charlie wasn't buying quite the way I was on Sunday either. So,
Right.
even in the house, I didn't have that competition. So it was sometimes I like that as a buyer. I know that it obviously sucks, for dealers if they don't have as many sales and that kind of thing. But um, I don't know. It's tough with that many shows all in one weekend. And of course, there's other things going on too. It was nice outside. That can make it tough. People are like, "Oh, we might not get too many more weekends like this. We better do our bike ride or take our boat out."
Yeah.
And you can't blame them for that, or go camping, right? Something like that. Um, so I think there was a lot of things to do, besides the shows that were going on. That it just kind of spread it out a little bit. It seemed. So, but we definitely had I mean, we had people up and down the aisles all day. There was definitely traffic. It just didn't seem quite as robust as it did the show before.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Again, it opens up really strong, and then about midway through the show, we've tended to see a little bit of a change out of football,
Mhm.
of foot traffic, I should say. Some folks will leave, but others come back in, and then it stays pretty steady through to the end. And we end our show a little bit shorter than most in the area,
Yeah,
so
I
we
like
start
that.
we start closing at 2,
Yeah.
and there are still plenty of people there, right at 2 o'clock that are still buying. The majority of vendors are still set up, so I think that works really well. Some of the longer shows, I sometimes see vendors packing up pretty early,
Mhm.
and you start to see a lot of empty tables. But with the earlier end time, we kind of have all the dealers there right to the end.
And because it's a Sunday show during the football season, that's nice too. Because a lot of the games are 3 o'clock. So if you end at 2, you can still end before the start of a Packer time. Um, so it does give us a couple more options, on which weekends to book when it's during football.
That
We
is
really only
true.
do one show during the football. Well, two, I guess, because January is still football. But we only do two shows during the the entire football season. So we have a little bit of flexibility to try to choose the best date we can to coincide with some of that schedule. But you can't schedule everything around something else that's going on either. Like you'll never find a date or a time then because there's always something going on.
Yeah, you can never work it all out perfectly. We do attempt to coordinate schedules as best as we can, but everybody puts their dates out at different times, and venues are we're kind of all constrained to when the venues are available as well.
Yeah. And us. Like I said, we're busy lives too. If it's a scouting camp trip that weekend, we're gone. Um, I've got a child that's involved in that kind of thing. So it's you just kind of have to, like I said, pick what works best and go with it, and hope it works out for enough other people.
Right.
It's just par for the course. So that's what I kind of like about not doing a December show. I just feel like there's so much going on. It's so hard, even just to fit it into our life. To be able to pull off the show is yeah. January, that beginning of January is awesome. It's a great time for vendors to book tables because people are coming in with fresh cash from the holidays, getting gifts and stuff. People want something to do. It's January, right? Christmas is done. The kids just had a week off of school. Hey, let's get them to a show on the weekend and give them something to do. Um, yeah, it's great. It's great. There's a lot of great card sets that come out in December. In November, holiday sets and things that you can pick up in January at a better deal. So yeah, it's a great time to. I think a January show is like one of my favorite shows.
Yeah, I think it's good. All right. Well, we keep getting a few more chats in there. Should we just keep going with them?
Sure.
Max says definitely was bittersweet for me. 3 shows I normally do and have only missed one of the shows collectively of the 3. We're all on one day, so glad most went well though.
And that's just it. Can you be at 3 shows? No. So you have to go with the show that works the best for you. So we respect the decision. It's fine. I don't. We had plenty of demand for tables, so it wasn't like, well, now we're not going to fill our table. It's not like that. So it was fine. And hopefully the show you did go to did well for you as well. Um, we want everybody to come out with wins for sure. And we'll see you at the next one. So there's
That's
that.
right. And Snappy says, Charlie, thanks again for the Discord exclusive video of your pickups from the GOAT show. Fun to see mistakes we make, and I made a few on Sunday. I was not pleased with my performance when I got home and really took a look at what I got. But they are good reminders for you and for everyone. So, yeah, I mean, you're not going to be perfect every time out, right? You've got different environmental distractions and different things that are going on. So yeah, I've had shows where I go home and I'm like, damn, I killed it that show. And then I have some shows where I'm like, oh, I was off my game. Like I was not focused enough and I wasn't disciplined enough.
Usually the biggest thing for me is the regret from a show for stuff I
Regrets?
didn't buy. Yeah, regrets. That's usually what I run into. Like I just said earlier, when I was looking through Mike's stuff, I'm like, man, I should have just made an offer on all the boxes. Like the stuff was good enough that would have worked out, and it was mostly stuff he wanted to get rid of from the shop, and I don't know. Neither of us came up with that idea, and I should have. That would have gotten me done on time too. So that would also have made it a smart choice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was happy with my buys. I was a little confused by some of the stuff you were buying, but you definitely. So I'm glad you were transparent. You put it out there, like, I made a mistake on that. I think that's good to do, because in the words of Billy Bob Thornton, well, they can't all be winners, kid.
Right.
But like you had the alien garbage pail kids.
Yeah.
Right. That was an awesome pickup. I would have bought those in a heartbeat.
Yep.
I never even found the garbage pail kids dealer, so I should have done that. I would have picked up more, some of that stuff. So I felt like you had some wins in there too. It was just a couple of the cards where I was a little confused what you were
Yeah.
trying to do, but I think you were kind of in a mindset. We sort of changed our mindset in the last video that let's go to dollar boxes first. Let's look at some slabs. Let's do, trying to add some diversity, maybe starting a little higher up and then coming down if we needed to with boxes.
Right.
Which I kind of did because I started with Cacawal, and that's basically a buck a common, right? I mean, it's kind of how it works.
Yep.
But yeah, you kind of kind of stuck to it, and I think it was kind of in your head, and you were trying to figure out a way to do it. So
Yeah, and honestly, I didn't even get through the whole show. Like, I didn't even make one
I
pass
didn't
through
either.
every dealer to see what they
I didn't
had.
either.
I only got through about half of it, and
Yeah,
I was feeling rushed all day when
me
I
too.
started looking through boxes.
And it was weird because we didn't have tables. You would think like we would be not rushed because you don't have to get back to your table. So
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how that sort of slipped away from me either. That entire extra section of the room, I never even went over there other than to get food, and it wasn't intentional. It wasn't like I didn't want to buy over there or anything. I just didn't. I had three
Right.
dealers that are regular dealers of ours that are on our main floor that I always buy from. Made sure I got to those, and that kind of ate up all my time.
Yeah.
So it seemed like the show went really fast.
It really did. I felt the same thing, but we were super busy with everything else, right? There was the setup in the beginning, and that actually extended a little bit after the start time of the show.
It did, yeah.
And then I was up on the stage for quite a while setting up all our media stuff, and then we
Yep.
actually did the two events, and then we had to get together as a team to go through a few things more than once, and then next thing you knew, it was like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock already. And the clock was just ticking down.
Yeah, and tried to get something to eat, and you have all the things that you have to sort of get through in a day. But yeah, and to me, if the time goes fast, you must have had something to do. You must have been having fun, getting something accomplished. So I
Yeah.
feel good about it that way. I came home with a fair amount of cards, and for the most part, a lot of cards I don't buy anywhere else, or I don't find at other shows. And that's a key for me at this show, is to try to find different stuff.
I did, you were talking about regrets of not making a purchase before. I did make a buy to avoid having the regret, and that was the Garbage Pail Kids David Happyhoff Atom Bomb, which turned out to be a pretty good buy. Actually, I
Yeah,
think I'll do pretty well with that. I'm not looking to flip that fast. I'm gonna hold that for a while, and I think that'll do really well.
I would like the base or the regular refractor version of that card for my Atom Bomb collection. I just
Yeah,
don't really need the orange out of 25 or whatever it was.
yeah, it was an
Um,
orange out of
that you
25.
picked up. Yeah, I mean, nice card. It's just for my IPC, I don't need something that low a number, to um cost me more money, I guess is the best way to put it when it's just for my PC. But yeah, it's a nice card.
I do have it. I did list it on eBay right away for an I don't want to sell it price, and I do have watchers on it already.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, Garbage Pail Kid stuff does very well. So, all
yeah, for sure.
right, I think we got a little bit more chat, and then we'll move on to what's your comp?
All right. Max says you'll make more money learning from your mistakes and paying for your education than never taking a chance. Yeah, I think you're dead on with that, Max. Everybody makes mistakes. The difference between most people is whether or not they learn from it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this, if you're gonna get started in this business, if this is a thing you want to do, I want to buy blowing cards out of quarter boxes and flip them for a profit. Well, guess what? There's no training for that. There's no education program for that. There's no,
Yeah,
uh, you know, video you can watch to be like, oh, this is how you do this. No, there's plenty of us talking and sharing experiences that you can probably get some from. But you got to get into those boxes. You got to get out there and see what's in your area, what your dealers have, make some connections with some dealers. Buy lots online. However you want to accomplish it. You you it, you. There's no real outline to it. You just got to do it. So,
yeah.
part of that is making those mistakes and you know don't take big chances right off the bat. Make some mistakes, learn from them, and then you can start to buy in a little bit, more confidently once you get over those mistakes.
Yeah, I think that really sums it up quite a bit. Like the only way you can really speed up your learning in this business is to get out there and do it and make some mistakes.
Yeah.
And then we've got one more question here. Wolfie Joe, this is going to be your alley. I don't really have any experience here, but any tips for selling uncertified autograph cards of not huge player names, aka not worth grading certifying, basically ones hand signed out in the world?
Yeah, I mean, just list them like any other raw card and add whatever you think would be a premium for an autograph. Just make sure you disclose, hand signed, not authenticated, something to that effect, so the buyer knows what they're getting, and you should be good to go. I've sold some of those because we have a lot of Packer players that live around here, or former players, and I've gotten a lot of autographs, from different events and things. As a matter of fact, next week I think I'm at an event with Mark Murphy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, probably get an autograph or two when I'm at that. But yeah, it's not going to be, a pack pulled auto or anything. Obviously, I'm just going to hand him the card and he's going to put a signature on it. So, um, I think that's your best case scenario for something like that. If the card's a $1 card, it's got the auto on it, and it's kind of a no namer, lineman player that not a lot of people will recognize, maybe you want to ask like $5-6 for it. Just
No such thing as a no-namer lineman that nobody recognizes.
yes, there is lots of them. Tons and tons of them. Don't pay attention to Charlie. He's a Brewers fan. Um, but yeah, I would just, kind of just figure out what you think would be, a premium to add on top of it based on the fact that there's an auto added. The other thing you can do, of course, is to try to find a prior sale. See if somebody else has sold a card or a photo with the auto of that player on it or something like that, and kind of base it off of that, get a comp. But I mean, if you didn't get the auto yourself, you don't even necessarily know if it's authentic. So
Right.
that's the downside. Somebody will buy it, they'll try to grade it and authenticate it. It'll come back on, fake or not, somebody else's auto or something, and now they're going to come back to you, and so you're kind of taking a chance even listing any of that. I mostly just hang on to those when I get them. Um, I've got a couple Favre cards like that. Now those would be obviously Favre would be worth authenticating, but I'm not going to because I like hand signed stuff. To me, that's in some ways better than a pack pulled card because the player handled the card. There's no sticker on it. Um, they I don't know. So that kind of be my advice on that one. But yeah,
Well, and a lot of times, I know you've mentioned before, you like getting that story behind it as well.
yeah, provenance adds value in many cases. Um, the other thing you can do for valuation is look at what a pack pulled auto would go for that player. So you have kind of a common name player and their pack pulled tops chrome auto, just went for $8. Well, you can't get $8 because that's a certified pack pulled auto. Take a percentage off of it from there and list it at a fair price that way. But you'd be surprised because a lot of times those items are like kind of like a one-on-one, right? I mean, they signed one card, they handed it to you, and that's what you got. If you've got a big enough fan, collector, or whatever, they might pay up for something like that.
Yeah.
You
I think if you get like a super fan of somebody, they're more inclined to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, now again, my IPC Favre, obviously he's a big name, but let's say it was Don Mikowski, right? I loved him growing up. He had his magic show. It was funny. Um, and I could get a couple of, hand signed Mikowski cards. Yeah, I'd probably pay a premium if it was a cool one that I wanted in my collection. Why not? When you're buying, what you have to keep in mind is who's your customer. Okay, if you think the customer is going to be somebody who is a collector of that player or a fan of that player, the price is not as relevant as you think it is, because it's more going to be the demand for that person than anything else. Because the item you have is going to be unique no matter what, because it's not packed. It's a hand signed item.
Right.
So you don't have to worry about that part of it. Like, oh, there's 50 copies of this out there. Well, there won't be. Um, and what is that person going to be willing to pay to get that more unique item into their collection? Well, they might pay quite a bit. Who knows? They might pay more than a pack pulled auto, because, well, I've got all the Topps Chrome pack pulled autos. That was easy. They signed 1,000 of them. I just looked them up on eBay and bought one in each color or whatever, and I was done. Versus your item might be more unique, and maybe it might be like, well, yeah, I paid 25 for the pack pulled auto, but that was easy. This I've never seen before. I'd pay $30 for it, right? So you have to maybe kind of drive some demand, put a good description in there, hey, hand signed card, there's only so many of these that I've seen, or something to that effect. Add some value to it, and you might be able to get a little bit more.
I
Yeah,
think that pretty well covers it. Max just adds list as IP and or in person as well, so it's clear.
Yeah, that's what I always put, was in person auto on the title, on the actual title of the listing.
All right. Well, we are caught up in the chat now. What do you want to go to next?
I really want to try this comp my card thing. I think it sounds exciting. I got a pretty decent one right off the bat. If you want me to go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. It shouldn't be like, none of these should be terribly difficult to comp if you do this regularly, because you shouldn't have to look anything up. You just kind of know the prices of stuff. Okay, do you know what this is?
It's a Tony Gonzalez rookie card from Bowman, right?
Bowman's Best.
Yeah.
Bowman's Best, Tony Gonzalez rookie card. It's in great shape, nice and shiny. He's of course a Hall of Famer, a rookie for the Kansas City Chiefs. What do you think would be the market on this card?
Every Tony Gonzalez rookie I've ever comped has been like $1.99 card. Tony Gonzalez does not retain value the way a Hall of Famer should.
You're incorrect. Big time. Tony Gonzalez stuff sells really well for me. I bought a bunch of Tony Gonzalez rookies.
You also sell water skiing squirrels.
That's correct. You better recognize. I see a few numbers getting tossed out there. Max says 4. Lofi Joe says $4.99. Brad Helston says $3. I list this card at $4.99. Most likely I would get a $4 offer, and that's what I would take. So I would say Lofi Joe and Max are right. One of the great things about listing a card that way, just to kind of go over the pricing part of it, when I list it at $4.99, I'll get a buyer that'll just pay $4.99 because they don't want to deal with it. The price is right there. Boom, buy it, ship it to me. They don't want to make an offer and go back and forth and do all that. So you can squeeze that little bit of extra out of it. In the same light, lots of people want a deal. They go, oh, $5. I bet he'd take 4. They throw 4 at it. I'm happy to get that. I got this out of a quarter box with several other cards, and I got a really good deal on the stack. I had like 500 cards that I paid $50 for, so basically 10 cents a piece. Wasn't quite 500 cards, a little less than that. So we'll say I paid 15 cents for this card. Okay. So pretty solid return. If I get my $5 especially, and then even 4 is a pretty solid return.
I left Tony Gonzalez rookies on Sunday because, like I said, I've probably bought a dozen of them over the years out of value boxes, and nothing has comped well for me. And I've given up on it.
I will take your Tony Gonzalez rookie cards, please.
All right. Right.
especially at a quarter.
Isn't it interesting how we can have totally different experiences with the same cards?
Yep.
We see that all the time in our stores too.
Yes, we do. Some of it is your customer base too. I have a huge customer base of Kansas City Chief buyers. I sell a lot of Derek Thomas. I sell a lot of obviously Patrick Mahomes. I sell Christian Okoye. I sell
The Nigerian
Jamal.
Nightmare.
Is it Jamal Charles? Jamal, is that the was he
Jamal Charles,
Chiefs?
yeah.
Yeah,
Just
Jamal
sold him.
Charles. Tony Gonzalez sells fine for me. Uh, who's the quarterback?
You're gonna have to be more
Vintage.
specific.
From like the '60s. Len Dawson.
Len Dawson for the Chiefs,
Yeah,
yeah.
Len Dawson stuff has sold pretty well for me. So Joe Montana in the Chiefs uniform, like
Sure.
Chiefs stuff does well. So that's part of the angle of that for me too, is that I have a couple of solid Chiefs buyers that'll pick that stuff up.
All right.
So good job everybody. You pretty much nailed it, with pricing right on the head.
You gonna keep going with some more? Are we gonna alternate, or what do you think?
Let's alternate because I got to dig another one out.
All right. Well, I will pick this one up off the stack. This is, let me see if I get the angle right. 1994
Ooh.
Top Finest Jerome Bettis rookie card.
Well, Jerome Bettis was a rookie in '93, actually.
Was it?
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. So second
Yeah.
year card. Second year.
That's
card.
a second year.
It's
I was like,
an insert
man,
set.
did you
rookie
make
star.
another mistake and thought you bought
Yes.
a rookie? Because it's
Yes.
not.
Rookie star insert set.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let's see. So it's 94 Finest, which is the first year of Football Finest, which
Correct.
does help a little bit. Not a refractor or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Not a rookie. I'd say if I were to list it, I would probably say $3.99, $4 essentially.
Okay. All right.
That'd be my price. The reason being is that first year Finest, it gets a bump because it's first year Finest.
Okay.
Whereas normally like for another semi premium set of that year, I'd do like $2.99. I'd ask an extra buck because it's Finest.
Sure. Okay. All right. I would probably list that. Let's see. We got $2.99, $2.49 out there. So $2 to $3 is what the crowd's saying. I will probably list that for $3.99.
Yeah, that's what I said. So yeah,
Yeah.
right on the head there.
Yeah.
It's interesting how many people are coming in lower than what we would ask.
Yeah.
It's I always try to go for that premium. I want a premium price. If I can get it. You can't always get it. Sometimes you gotta, accept offers and stuff too. But
I believe that Bettis card actually has some comps over $4 out there on eBay.
yeah, I'm sure it does because I saw a lot of 94 Finest and Bettis is a good seller. Hall of Famer, had a great career, played for the Steelers, huge collector fan base there. And then first year Topps Finest, the bonus points going for that. All right.
All right, what do you got next?
All right, so we talked about this IP a little bit ago, so I want to go with one of these. And we kind of showed off the design of these cards. So we're gonna go non-sport. We're gonna challenge you guys now. So I've got this Alice from Alice in Wonderland, the die cut. These are 1 in 4 packs, if I remember correctly. Was trying to read the Chinese translation for it. So it's kind of this mirror on the wall design is the best way to put it because it's got this like Dufex foil background to it. It's die cut. It is a exclusive Chinese product. It's an import only. So let me know what you think on that. By the way, these are $15 a pack, right, Charlie?
Yeah.
If you were to break it down, just to try to give you some,
Mhm.
shots at value here. Now, these were $2 a piece, I think, is what he was going to charge me for them. Because they were 3 a piece, but then it was $2 if you bought 10 of them or something like that. $2 a piece if you bought 10.
Yeah.
Of course, I bought every single one of them because I couldn't let Charlie get any. Was the main reason. But anyway, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 11 of them is what he had. So I
Okay.
paid, let's say $2. Let's say I paid $2 for it, just to give you an idea of my cost basis. Anyway,
So I see some $6.99, $9.99, 7, 8. I would probably list it for $8.99.
I am more ambitious than that. I've done very well with Alice in Wonderland stuff in the past. Very nice eye catching card. Great photo of the character on it. I'm going to be asking $12.99 for that card.
Wow.
$12.99. My best guess, unless somebody buys multiple cards and uses a coupon and they get a savings that way. But my best guess is I'll end up accepting $10 for it. So $9.99 is probably the more accurate of the stated prices on here. With I think that was Lofi Joe that had it at $9.99. But not a bad return at $2. My cost. And that's just
So
one example.
So I'll stay with the Kakawao theme, and I've got the Silver Parallel Woody from 2025 Cosmos Disney.
Yeah. God,
And
those cards are so nice.
yeah. So I think he was asking for 2 a piece on these. I
I bought
probably in
some
my
too.
deal got like $1.50 or something like that. So
Yeah. Well, you had a quantity discount built into all of them too. So I tried to hit that and then tried to get a little bit off on top of that, essentially.
yeah.
So
And I bought some packs too, but I don't think I got any of these silvers in the packs. I just got the collection posters.
Here's my Bruce. That's still my favorite silver card because the shark with the shark water just looks amazing.
Right.
Anyway.
All right. So for Woody, we got a 7. We got an 8. What do you think, Adam?
Toy Story doesn't always do as well for me as I think it should. Certain characters do. Woody's not really the best seller for me. I'm gonna say $7.99.
Okay. And we got a $9.99 from Snappy. Let's go. Sports card said 14. Wolfie Joe said $3.99. Woody never sold for me. Bradley says 10. So I am going to price it at $7.99. That's about in line with the comps I see out there.
These are harder to comp, aren't they, kids?
Yeah.
That's what I liked about putting some of those out there. All right, let's go. I'm gonna go with something a little bit more obscure. Okay, not that you haven't seen any of this type of card before, but just the player is probably more obscure. Okay, ready for this? This is a 2023 Prism, black and white checkerboard Prism of Dat Nyan or Nguyen Win. How do you pronounce his name? Dat Win. For the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Right. So tough hit, right? Tough parallel. You got the Cowboys.
Not numbered though, right?
They are not numbered. No.
Yeah.
No idea. There's not very many of them, but there's no disclosure as to how many there are because it's not serial numbered.
Right. I'm gonna say
so this is a little tougher.
He was kind of a club hero, so to speak.
So you're familiar with this. You're familiar with this gentleman, huh?
Yeah, I know the player.
Yeah,
but he's not like a perennial all pro or anything. I would probably list that at $4.99.
Really? despite the fact that this is like one of the toughest parallels you can pull.
Yeah, but it's not a major player.
It's a Cowboys player. Doesn't matter if it's major, right? Cowboys fans buy every player. So
Yeah, I would guess $4.99 on that.
I'll be listing this at $7.99, and I don't expect it to last longer than a week, and it'll be sold. So it's funny because I see Bradley's comment on your $5 Prism's overproduced. It is, but these
Yeah.
Prism as a base set is overproduced. Is
You froze
overproduced,
up
but
there
not
for a
the
second, but we
parallels
got
aren't. Or this parallel anyway.
Yeah, we had some $4 guesses, $4.99, $9.99, and $5. So little variance there. Yeah, I just don't. So it's tough sometimes to comp a card when you're like, well, I would never pay that for that card. I think that's what gets in the way sometimes. Is if it's not a card you find desirable, it's hard to place a high comp on it.
And that's why I'm kind of choosing what I'm choosing, because these are kind of I wanted the surprise ones, right? Like, oh, it goes for that much. Yeah, that's the ones that are tough to comp, and that's where you end up, losing out on money because you underestimate what the card is. Yeah. So I would say $7.99 on this one, and I expect it to sell really quick. And it's also Datwin. They do not make very many cards of this guy. So even though Prism base cards are overproduced, I think he's only in Prism. I don't even think he's in any of the other sets.
I would think he's in multiple sets. He had a good 4 or 5
Not very
year
many.
run there. All right, so
right.
what do we got here?
You're up.
I'm up, and Snappy says just picked up a Terrell Davis checkerboard, and it was only $5. I expected it to be higher.
Yeah, it should be higher. On a Terrell Davis, I saw a lot of Terrell Davis cards too. I'd probably do $9.99 on a Terrell Davis is what I would ask, and then I'd probably get $8. If I was taking offers. So yeah, 5 is a pretty good deal.
Well, how about an ultra modern card? In fact, this is a 2025 Topps Chrome baseball card. So we've got a Ray Wave refractor of hot rookie Dylan Cruz.
Who's she?
And this was actually bought out of a retail blaster just earlier today, actually.
Who is she?
You'll have to look her up.
Let's see. Dylan Cruz, their season's over. Had an okay rookie season. Ray Wave, I like. That's a nice refractor. What's funny about baseball is the rookies are hot and they sell and all that in that year. As soon as they're a second year player, no one gives a crap.
Yeah.
So he's gonna have a tough second year that way. I don't know. I'd probably say $4.99.
Okay. $4.99. Snappy says $5.99.
And that's not a bad call. Sometimes if I feel like I could get a bit more out of it, I'll just raise it that buck. Just in hopes that I get the 5 then. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Create some margin.
Wolfie Joe says maybe 4. Let's Go Sports Card says 5 to 6. Bradley says Topps Chrome is a great product. He'd say $8. And I like the way Bradley's thinking. Unfortunately, when I actually checked the sold comps, like $3.99 is a realistic number.
And I wouldn't sell it that low. I'd go $4.99 because he's still a big name rookie, and Ray Wave is a popular
$4.99, but you'd take 4.
True, correct. But if you list it at $3.99, you're going to get $3 offers. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know. I get plenty of buyers too that just buy it for what it's listed
Right.
at. Yeah.
Right. But the savvy ones, the ones that know what they're doing, are they're going to be making those $3 offers or $3.50 offers.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I don't know. The only thing I don't know in this is the variable on that card for me, is I don't know how common the ray wave refractors are.
Well, that's the thing. They're not very rare.
Yeah. So if they aren't, then yeah, I'd probably do $4.99 and I'd take $4
Yeah.
because of what
Let's
it
Go
is.
Sports Card says he feels like Chrome overdid the ray waves, and I feel like they've been creeping up in production every year.
Yeah, they got really popular. Didn't they add ray wave to the negatives too? Like they added ray
Yeah, they
wave
have
to a
different
couple of other
variations of 'em.
refractors. Yeah, because it used to be like ray wave was like a thing. That was it. It was the color card with the ray wave.
Right.
And now they added that look to other parallels. It's so hard to keep track of all that stuff, which I guess is the point of this game, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a fair point. All right, what do you got next?
All right, you guys want a really hard one? You want a really hard one?
Sure.
Okay. I pulled this out specifically for you folks this evening. So I'll make sure I got the right one here. Okay, so we're going TCG, okay? TCG, can you believe that?
Yeah.
And no, it's not Pokemon, okay? There's enough of that out there. So this is a Dragon Ball Z promo, okay, for the Dragon Ball Super card game. And this is the Chain Attack Trunks. So it's got the special like foil on it. I don't know if anybody of you follow the Dragon Ball Z card. And it's the, what do they call this? The 20,000 or whatever promo set down there. That's how you know it's the promo. So this is a tough one, right? Now think about how popular Dragon Ball Z is. I don't
Not
think this
popular
is
at all.
trying to think of what the character's name is. It's not Goku, but anyway, he is a popular character. I can't think of his name right now. But it is a promo. They're not very highly printed, high quality card, right? Fairly popular card game, not overproduced. What do you think?
Well, I do not know that IP at all, but I would guess that's a double-digit card.
So my favorite post on here so far is Snappy, who says $39.99 or a quarter.
Fair.
And that's what's great about this kind of a thing. It's can be a real challenge, right? If you have the right stuff out there.
I would be thinking somewhere between $12 and $25.
Last sale on this card was $14.
Okay.
I will probably be listing. I haven't listed this yet, so I can't say what my listed price is, but I'm intending to list this at $19.99 best offer, and I'll probably get somewhere around $16 to $17 for it when it sells. There aren't very many out there. It's got a really nice, like the gold foil is an extra surface on it, so it's almost like an embossment with the gold foil. Super nice card.
Yeah.
Popular set, promos, yeah. So lots of bonus points for that card based on that. So don't sleep on TCG promos.
I'm going to stay with your theme, and I'm going to go with this 2025 Magic the Gathering Spider-Man foil Beetle Legacy Criminal.
So funny thing about Magic the Gathering, you'd think the foil cards are special, right? But they're not. Magic the Gathering people don't care. The foils don't add much value. So I'm gonna say, because it has the Spider-Man IP and it does have Beetle, who is a fairly well-known character, I guess. I'm gonna say $2.99.
Okay. So let's stay with that thought. And now here is a non-foil base with Venom. This is just a standard number 224 Venom with the comic cells in it. And let's guess that one then. So we have a foil and we have a non-foil base.
This one would be more than a foil because it's got Venom. I would say $3.99 on this one.
Okay.
So it's counterintuitive, right? So like if you had the silver prism, in a football card, and then the base in a football card, you'd be like, "There's no way the base is more."
Yeah.
But it's not the same thing for TCG.
Now I will tell you what you want to find in one of those is the soul crystal, because those are going for thousands of dollars.
I do not have one of those at this time.
Yeah, I do not either. So the foil is going for about $1.99. Like you said,
$2.
It's not that lucrative. The non-foil with Venom, the last sale on this card was $11.
Oh, that's better than I thought. I was originally going to say $4.99 because I was like, "Oh, it's Venom," but you made it sound like it was a common, so that kind of made me drop the price a little bit by $1. I went $3.99 instead of $4.99.
I mean, I'm no expert on Magic the Gathering, but I don't see any kind of markings on it that make it stand out to me, So I would consider it a common.
Yeah, it's and it might be, but it also might be like the other thing that's interesting about TCG is it a good card to play in the game that can add to the value. Because if everybody wants it in their deck, now there's more demand. People will pay a little bit more to be competitive in the game, and there you go. You know what sells really, really well, Charlie? Actually, I should put one of these up in the game.
We actually got a couple comments about Magic the Gathering specifically. Max says, foil does bump the value a bit for sure, but playability is almost all that matters with MTG. Let's Go Sports Card says Magic price is also influenced by its utility. And Max says main reasoning behind Magic foils not having a massive premium is that most Pringle over time.
Okay. That seems
what does
fair.
Pringle mean, Max? Do you mean they get really brittle and snap?
I think he means the foil goes bad on them, right?
Yeah, but exactly how is what I'm saying.
What
does it do that sounds or looks like a Pringle? All right, what do you got next, Adam?
All right. I'm gonna let you guys choose. They're technically both sports cards, but one is a sports TCG card, and another is a kind of more obscure regular sports card release. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how else to put that. So you choose. You tell me which one you want to go with.
Let's do the regular sports card offering you got.
Okay, we'll do both. Good idea. All right, and I just got it now when I was thinking about Pringle. Oh yeah, Pringles are chips that have the curve in it.
Okay.
That's what he means by Pringling. Okay. How about this? Kind of an obscure set, right? This was Fleer Game Day where it was those tall boy cards, right? From 94, I think. 1993, 94. This is an Emmitt Smith insert card called Game Breaker. So Emmitt Smith, obviously Hall of Famer, legendary running back.
Mm-hmm.
It's card number 13 of 16. How do you think that would do?
Well, I'm not familiar with those. I don't know that a lot were produced.
Mm-hmm.
You got a Hall of Famer, one of the greats. Condition doesn't look great.
Condition's not great on the top, which is what you
Yeah.
see in most of these cards because people stuck them
Yeah.
in regular binders and stuff.
Yeah. But based on maybe rarity, I'm gonna say it might be going for like $9.99.
Yeah, $9.99, exactly right on the head.
Okay.
Nice card, huh? So the
Did
other
you find
one,
that on Sunday?
no, I don't remember when I bought that.
Okay.
It's a little bit ago. See, now this is how I was expecting people to answer. Snappy says $2 because people don't like oversized cards. That's not true at all, which is shocking to me. Um, just due to the fact that it's not a card you see very often, and they didn't produce a lot of it, and there's a lot of them that just got absolutely trashed and thrown out. So while this one isn't in perfect condition, it does still exist, and it doesn't have creases either, which matters. And you'll get buyers for that. It's kind of like mini card. Mini cards are a pain in the butt too. Well, guess what? I sell a ton of mini cards, and they go for good money. So
Yeah.
there's buyers for all that stuff. All right.
All right.
And then do we want to look at some of the feedback there or the guesses quick before we move on, or?
We had $2 from Snappy. We had the $1.99 from Bargain Boxer. And
No,
then
not even close.
Let's Go said $5. Again, because it's a pain in the
It's a
butt to
pain.
collect.
Yep, but see, we have to be careful because that's our thoughts on it, right? You just need the buyer that, likes that kind of thing. Okay, last one. And somebody just mentioned this. I think it was Let's Go who said, "Oh, you mean Bo Jackson Battle Arena?" Yes, Bo Jackson Battle Arena. My hottest selling cards in the current time. I don't know if you tried to sell any of your stuff, Charlie. I wish I would have bought like a case of that stuff because it is
I
hot, hot,
have,
hot, hot.
and I have not moved it, but it might be because I'm putting it in TCG versus I think you're putting it in sports cards.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Well, it's a TCG product.
No, it's not. It's a
It
football
is a
card or
trading
basketball
card
card.
game. It's not even based on athletes. There's no connection to actual athletes. Just read their disclaimer.
Okay. All right, rookie. Here we go. This is a good one. You ready? This is Magic Johnson from the National Exclusive. Big League Chew. So you got 3 Big League Chew themed cards. So you can see Magic Johnson blowing a big purple bubble yum bubble there, or not bubble yum. Big League Chew bubble there. This is not serial numbered. I do have a serial numbered one of his as well, but this is just the base. So it's based on Magic Johnson. It's the likeness of Magic Johnson. It's Magic Johnson. Okay, get over it. It's Magic Johnson pulling a rabbit out of his hat, blowing a bubble. What do you think? What do you think on this one?
I would say $25.
Okay.
Bargain Boxer says $50 on eBay Live if Bo is selling it.
No. 29.99.
Okay.
So the numbered one I had out of 99, I asked $99 for that card. Isn't that silly?
Yeah.
But the Bo Jackson stuff has sold so well for me. So $29.99. I'm expecting to get $25 out of it when it finally hits.
So have you seen confirmed sales in that range, or are you just throwing out numbers that you think it would go for?
I've seen the numbered cards, like the serial numbered ones, there's not very many sales. There wasn't, most of them are like out of 25.
Yeah.
I've seen some of the like this more base version, if you will. So I'm basing I sold the Bo Jackson, the green. I had a green, what is the green one called? Sour apple or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
The sour apple Bo one, and I sold that for $29.99.
Okay.
So I figured the Magic Johnson stuff actually does a little better than Bo Jackson. I mean, he has a bigger following than Bo does.
Yeah. Now the Big
So
League Chew ones
$29.99
were
makes sense.
exclusive, so there
Correct.
was rarity to those.
Correct. There was and there wasn't. They had a lot of product that they sold too. You know. But yeah, that obviously if you got that out of like a regular booster pack, you'd probably be looking at more like $10,
Yeah.
versus what was really weird at the show was they wouldn't let you take the packs with you. They made you open the box. Well, actually the lady opened the box for us and then opened the Big League Chew pack. you know, um,
And gave us warnings. Be very careful with that. There's going to be a lot of people looking for those.
right. And then you took them out and kind of showed what the cards were, but yeah, so that is an amazing product. I'm gonna try to pick up some more, and they're just fun. One of the things that's great about this product is it doesn't mess around with the lesser names, right?
Yeah.
Every character that they build in this game is big names in their sports. You get you get players from all different sports. My Caitlin Clark Ice rookie, I think I sold for like $35. It's silly. Um, yeah. So great product.
So I have
That's it for me
90
for tonight.
I have 90 Bo Jackson Battle Arena cards listed. Let me see how many I've actually sold. Well, maybe a few more than I thought I did. I've sold 7. So
Yeah, I've sold most of mine. As soon as I list like a little pile of them, I'll get somebody to buy like 10 or 12 cards at one time. They're
really,
going quick. Yep, they're going quick.
the most recent one was an Ice Battle Foil D Hop DeAndre Hopkins, which I sold for $2.99. So
Yeah.
I did sell my Big League Chew Brandy Chastain grape for $19.99.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah,
know what? Some of these aren't even Bo Jackson Battle Arena in those 7. Some are Boba Fett. Because I list
oh,
mine BOBA because the name's so long. So I use the standard abbreviation. So it mixes in with Boba Fett.
yeah, I don't do that. I list it with the regular.
How do you not run out of room?
You just put in Bo Jackson battle. I don't think I list Bo Jackson in the title. I just do Battle Arena. Or
Yeah, I'll have to look at some of your listings.
Bo Battle Arena, I think. I don't know. Yeah, I'll have to go look
Let's
to
Go Sports
see
Card
for
says there
sure.
are so many things that go into pricing Bo Jackson's Battle Arena. Lots to learn about that product.
Yeah, because there's a lot of different parallels. Like there's the ice, but then there's the foil ice, and then there's serialized ones, and there's the whiteouts are really cool. Those I sold all my whiteouts already. I did get a glow, which is kind of like the glow in the dark ones.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, there's some pretty crazy stuff, and they just look awesome. I sold the Mahomes I listed the Mahomes. I sold it within like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
The Merlomes or Merlin Mahomes or whatever they call
Yeah,
him in
something
that
like that.
game. A lot of them, as I'm listing them, I got to look them up. I'm like, I don't know who this dude is. And then I see
Looks
the
like
name and I'm
Let's
like,
Go
oh, that makes
Sports
sense.
Cards has been digging into it. He says the lower number play cards are worth some money too. And he said he thinks 1 through 32 are short prints and super short prints.
Okay, that could be. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just list them and try to make some money.
Yeah, I got to switch something up on those because it feels like more of them should be moving than there are for me. And I'm definitely not pricing them too high. I think if anything, I'm pricing them too low.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like it because I'm pricing my stuff high and they're all flying off the shelves. Let me
Yeah.
see let me look at some orders. If it's something that I haven't sold before, I generally will go into sold listings from somebody else and then copy what they used
Yeah.
to list. Let's see. Battle. So
While
that's
you're
why
looking,
I'm not sure how I titled it, because I would have just copied it from somebody else.
yeah. While you're looking, I'll throw one more card up. This is a 2024 Topps Chrome Garbage Pail Kids Series 7 Garbage Pail Music Awards card, the Backstreet Boyd card.
Hmm. Yeah, you just picked that one up this weekend. I would
did.
say Refractor, Backstreet Boys, big following there. It's a cool looking card. I'd say $9.99.
$9.99.
Yep.
That's a good guess.
It might be a little bit more.
So in my bundle, I paid about 50 cents for this.
Mhm.
No.
It's a good buy. I would have bought it at 50 cents.
Yeah. Last comps were about $6.50.
Okay. Yeah. No, I don't like that. I got to get more than that. So I would do $9.99 and probably accept $8.
Yeah.
And I'll find a buyer. So here's I found one of my recent sales for Battle Arena. This is how I listed this card: 2025 Bo Jackson Battle Arena Update Fire number 160 Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, because that's his character name in the game.
Seems like that's more than 80 characters.
That is incorrect. It is 78 characters.
All right.
Yep. And it sold for $4.99, and it's just a base Brock Purdy card. So yeah, you're not quite competitive enough in the pricing. The Caitlin Clark, how I listed that one: 2025 Bo Jackson Battle Arena C.C. because she's called CC in the game. Caitlin Clark Rookie Ice number 26. That's how that card was listed. That sold pretty quick. And then I sold a Jackson Merrill merry-go-round. I sold a Justin Jefferson, Christian McCaffrey, Drake May, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Juan Soto, the Sour Green Apple Bo Jackson, Jalen Brunson, the shiny foil where it's like the silver foil.
Yeah.
The Gaveler, which is Aaron Judge, a Yeti, Travis Kelce, a Big Z, Zion Williamson, foil De'Aaron Jackson, that whiteout of Brees Hall, which I even spelled Brees wrong in the listing. Didn't matter. It sold. The foil Justin Herbert, the Magic Johnson out of 99 Big Grape. I sold that for $99. Luis Arias Sprinkler Fire Orange card. I put orange in the title of that one. I must have had enough characters left over. I decided to add the color. Luka Doncic, Donnie Buckets, the Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, the Glow. That's the one where I got that like glow in the dark version. Josh Allen, Bison, just base card. Puka Nakua, the Puka Dot, the fire version. Brian Thomas Jr., Bryce Harper, Harpoon, just base. Those were just base cards. And then a Jaden Daniels, just the base Jaybird card. So those are the ones I sold like in the last 3 days, and I just started listing them.
So since you're doing them in sports, you got them all in your main store?
That is correct.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to take another look at those. I do see I have some listed. If the character is allowed, I listed, fully with Bo Jackson Battle Arena, and then I've been listing the character name plus the real inspiration player, like a slash. So like D-Hop slash DeAndre Hopkins, right? Which is why it takes up more room, because I'm adding an extra name most of the time.
Yeah, I do the same.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is our guess the comp, or it kind of twisted a little bit to guess what I'm going to list it for. So,
Well, it's kind of the same thing.
well, I mean, not
So
really. 'Cause-
here's my I kind of don't care about comps because
yeah,
there's so many variables to look into. Like when did they sell it? What time of day? How did they list it? What is in the title? And then
yeah,
you have to look at the seller. Well, is the seller like they have like 10 feedback and their rating is crap and
yeah,
do they have any current customers? Like I have 2,700 followers,
yeah,
you know. I can list something for $2 more and my followers will get notified I listed it and I'll probably sell it. So it's I don't know. Comp to me is not the be all end all for how to price something.
yeah. And I mean, we've consistently talked about listing above comps because you're going to take some negotiations.
Yep.
So they should be relative to comps, I guess, is what I would say.
Yeah.
They're not going to
Well,
be the
for sure.
same. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be totally out of the ballpark, otherwise,
Right.
you won't get the sale. But and on something like that, especially when I'm first listing it, I don't care if I'm too high. I can always bring the price down.
Yeah.
But if you start the thing at $4 and you go, oh, I could have got 8 and it sells, like you're out. You sold it.
Yeah.
So and
How
I
have
just
you done? How have you done on the hot dogs and the play cards, like
I
the move cards and stuff?
I sold one hot dog and I haven't sold any of the play cards, but I got a bunch of them to list.
Yeah.
They're not fun to me, so I'm not like they're not high on my list priority.
Yeah, and I don't, from my research, I don't think there is much value in those.
No, the play cards I'll just list at $1.99 and probably the hot dogs too, to be honest with you. I'll just do it at
Yeah, that's what
$1.99.
I did
I'd
too, but
I'd
they're
I'd
still
just
not
be
all
happy
right.
to no. My kind of hope was that, when I listed the character cards that maybe somebody would throw a hot dog in with their buy.
Yeah.
Um, especially if they were trying to hit like the coupon code or something, but really wasn't the case. The one hot dog card I sold was like just an individual card sale, and I sold it for $1.99. So, but man, those I think those cards are, I think they're, I think they're good. I think it's something that I want to get into more for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking
I
at
haven't
your
really,
sales right now. And I see you selling a lot of the same cards I have. So it's
yeah,
interesting that you're moving them pretty easy, and I'm struggling to move them.
yeah. If you could only be me, right? I mean, I hear that every day. I've been looking kind of for a strong TCG game that I really want to, add into my sales portfolio, if you will. I've talked about this in the past. I built the sports store. Now I'm building the non-sports store, and I'm like, eventually, I would have a third store where it'd be TCG. And
Yeah.
I really want like a hot TCG that would
Yeah.
really kind of carry my TCG store. And I think Battle Arena would make a lot of sense.
Well, no, because it's not a TCG, it's a sports card.
But that's the point. That's the whole point, right?
How are you
It's
going to put
both.
sports cards in your TCG store?
I will. They will go in there. They will be listed as TCG sports cards. Yeah,
Formalities.
I've had pretty great success with those, and I've only just started to list in the last couple days. Packs are almost empty. Like
Yeah.
I mean, this was a whole pack of them. That's all I got left.
Okay.
So uh,
I I don't see them in stores ever
yeah.
either. Like
So
it's online only, right?
nope, yeah. So I'm gonna make a pre-order for the Griffey boxes. I think you have to buy 2 in order to get the Tecmo Bowl box. So I'm just gonna order the whole thing at one time
Sure.
and pick that up. So because I don't think I can go wrong with it. The Griffey cards are gonna do very well, and Tecmo Bowl, I've just hell, even if I don't sell a single card out of that, I'd be just giddy as a schoolboy, opening the packs of those. Because
Right.
Tecmo Super Bowl was a big part of my life.
Yeah, I agree. I loved it. And I got instantly, I had good feels when they made that announcement.
Yeah, and the popularity has really grown on it. Sales have gotten stronger as we see. Now, those big league chew cards, yes, I expected those to sell well. I expected them to sell quick. I expected to get good money for them because of what they were. The rest of all that stuff that I read, all those cards, those are just regular booster pack cards. They're not special.
Yeah.
Those are just cards anybody could have pulled. Not autos. They're not serial numbered. Nothing like that. And they've been going. Um, the
Max says there's only 2 TCG that matter. Stick to what works.
Well, I don't care if anybody plays the game with them at all. The cards sell. That's all that I care about.
So what are
Most
the
people,
2, Max? I would assume one is Pokemon, and I don't think you'd get any arguments off of that. But what is the other one?
yeah, Pokemon's pretty obvious. It's got to be Magic the Gathering.
You think so?
Oh yeah. So I don't know. The cards do well. Their booth was really popular the whole weekend. Bo Jackson is a great, person to have as a model for that. Flavor Flav is in the new set. Like, dude, the stuff is good. So I love the art. I love what they've done with the characters and the names. The products are very affordable because there is no licensing. So I like that. I like that it's all stars. There's no fluff players in it. That don't have market. I love that it covers a bunch of different sports, so I don't have to buy a box of football and a box of baseball and a box of. I can buy a box and get top names from all those sports. Um, Love it. I think it's
Yeah.
I think it's definitely a product I want to continue to grow with.
It is fun, that's for sure. Max says Pokemon and Magic are the 2 that matter, and he actually says Magic outsells Pokemon 10-1 on TCG Player.
Yeah, that's because most Magic sellers, that's where they sell. So it's going to be dominant on there for sure. I know somebody quite well that's pretty much what they sell is Magic cards, and they just pretty much do it all on TCG because
Yeah.
the market's already built there. You don't have to do photos of your cards in that either. You just list them, and it lists with everybody else's listing of that card, and
Right.
it's a whole different kind of system as well.
Yep. All right. Well, that was fun. I like that. Even
Yeah,
even with
I had a
less
good time with it.
production than like Hobby or No, that was fun to do.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think we came up with a decent variety of examples, right? Different stuff that you could try to price out, and some stuff seems pretty obvious and some stuff you got to think about a little bit.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, we're pretty caught up on chat. Just a little bit more on TCG there. What about this weekend, Adam? If you were going out digging boxes this weekend, are there any cards you'd be looking for in those value boxes based on current setting?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're into the baseball playoffs now, so probably focus on that a bit. Pick up some of those players that are going to make an impact, that I think will make an impact in the postseason. I really like Aroldis Chapman kind of having a resurgence year.
Mhm.
Already has some hobby built in. He had a big win last night with the Reds for a save or something. I don't know what it was, but he was involved in their victory.
Yeah.
You know, maybe obviously some Yankees. They're still in it. I know they got beat by Boston in the first game, but Otani, all the Dodgers are going to be picking up. As they always do every year at this time when they're competitive at the end. So Otani, Freeman, those guys. I really like Andy Pages. I think he's a decent buy. I think he's going to have a big impact with the Dodgers in the playoffs. Seems like a playoff type player. I kind of avoid, this is going to sound weird, but I kind of avoid Aaron Judge because he sucks in the playoffs.
Yeah, he didn't have a great night tonight, if I
No,
recall correctly.
he hasn't since, he came into the league. He hasn't had a real big playoff impact. Otani, on the other hand, is the exact opposite. Otani obviously plays well all year long, but he has a boost in the playoffs. He just seems to do a little extra. And you hear about him, Otani, 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 Otani. There's never a stop of talk of him as well as
See, the
either.
Dodgers have a big lead right now, and that
Um,
probably means Otani went yard again.
yeah, well, and they won what, not 10-2 or something last night, so they had a big win last night too.
Yeah.
I think those are probably my biggest names. I'd like to see Matt Shaw have a big impact, but I don't know. The Cubs, it's going to be tough for them to really get to the end in this thing. There's a lot of competitive teams. Maybe Churio might be a decent player to get back into. Like, his stuff was super hot last year. Just like I said earlier, his stuff was hot as a rookie. No one cares about a second-year player.
Right.
And he had a little bit of an up and down year with some injury and things like that. But I think he could have a good impact in the playoffs if the Brewers do well. Yeah, I think that's where I hit. Bryce Harper is always a good play in the playoffs. He always plays really well. He's loud. Everybody knows he's there. If the Phillies do well, Kyle Schwarber having a hell of a year.
Orbs.
Cranking out the home runs. His stuff has always sold well for me anyway, but this tends to be a little bit of a pickup time playing his stuff. So, and that's more of a player that could potentially be in a quarter box, right? You're not going to find a lot of Bryce Harper stuff in the quarter box.
Right.
Not good stuff anyway. Same with Judge, same with Otani. Those players are very well. So players like a Schwarber and a Aroldis. I just bought a Aroldis Chapman orange Topps Chrome orange rookie refractor out of a quarter box
Yeah.
this past weekend. Like, dude, that's like a $10 or $12 card now.
Yeah. In the last like
So
8 months, I sold some low numbered stuff of his because it'd been sitting
Chapman.
around for 2 years.
Yeah, I didn't really have anything sitting around, but I saw kind of him making his comeback year, and the Reds have hobby. They got Ellie and stuff like that. So there's some buyers and collectors of that. So I picked up that orange for a quarter, right? Topps Chrome
The,
rookie orange refractor. Like, it kind of made sense anyway.
yeah. The scary thing with him from a hobby perspective, I guess, was, he had some domestic issues that have the potential to just crush you in the hobby sometimes, but it looks like he's making his way through it.
Yeah, and he's kind of on a close to a farewell tour too.
Yeah.
So that kind of segues me to like Justin Verlander. It's his last year. A Clayton Kershaw. If you want to kind of just make a last ditch effort at those guys, they'll be in the topics at the end of the season here, especially if if the Dodgers end up winning it. They're going to talk a lot about Kershaw and his career and all that kind of stuff. So those are probably like my sneaky plays, as long as the playoffs work out for them. Otherwise they're not going to matter as much.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, my plays would be a little more speculative, mostly younger players that
and Volpe. I think Volpe's going to have a great playoff.
Yeah, Volpe. So I went big on Volpe his rookie year, and now the discussion in New York is he their best shortstop right now, and it's like a timeshare. So that could be problematic.
I just need them to have a good. We're talking like buying players now and selling them in this playoff run.
Absolutely, and I'm saying that within the last 3 weeks, the media was like, "Who's the better shortstop play for them right now, Volpe or this other kid?"
It's Volpe. So,
okay, Skip.
Yep.
Yeah,
I have no doubt about.
Would definitely be more speculative for like really quick flips, like pick them up, get them listed when you get home, and you're looking to flip them for a couple bucks right away. But guys that I think you can find in dime boxes, quarter boxes at times. So what was I looking for? I was looking for low buy-in compared to the big stars, clear path to October playing time, potential for spotlight moments in those high leverage games, and a strong narrative that drives all that excitement. So first one on the list is Addison Barger of the Blue Jays. This is his 2024 Topps Update rookie there. So good playoff breakout candidate. All he needs to trigger that is a few clutch postseason hits and big moments. The risk there with him is limited playing time, could cool down quickly. So that's why it's important that you're going in with little cost to try and flip them. Number 2 is Dominic Canzoni of the Seattle Mariners. So that's his 2024 Top Series 1 rookie card there. Another breakout candidate. What he needs to trigger some rush of sales is some clutch ABs and some key October games. Again, playing time could be limited and a small sample size for him. That's the risk. But again, if you're buying in a quarter box or a dime box, is that really a big risk, right? Number 3, looks like there's an issue with the image there. Who did I have at number 3? Oh, pitcher, Garrett Crochet. This is because he's having a great year with the Red Sox now. All he needs is a couple dominant performances on the mound. Now, the risk there with him is he's a known commodity, so he might be priced a little bit higher in those value boxes. And the playoff pressure on pitchers can be immense. So he could flop basically if he can't handle the pressure as well as he needs to.
That's kind of, I was going to add Blake Snell too. Same kind of thing, really.
Yeah. So apologize. I put this together right before the show and some of the images aren't coming through and I don't know why, because I did put them on there. I promise you. Let's see here. Let me do it this way. Boom, boom, boom. All right. We're gonna switch out. We're gonna remove that. And what I'll do is bring up the actual file because it's the upload that is not working right. Gosh, Adam, you were supposed to test out all of this tech before the show.
My tech worked just fine. I'd like everybody to notice that. Except for the start of the show. Except for the start of the show when I lost signal.
You did for a little bit there. Yeah, that is accurate. Yeah. All right, let's try this. There we go. There's Garrett Crochet. See, I told you the images were in there. So we talked about him. The next one is
Mr. Crotchet.
Yeah, Crotchet. Chase DeLauder of the Cleveland Guardians. I don't know if Dan's on tonight, but this is probably one of his guys. So there's his 2022 first Bowman. So he was just added, and collectors love a playoff debut when they do something big. So that's what that upside trigger is all about. You've got his debut. Plus, if he gets a big moment, that is a massive buzz in the collector world. The risk there is there's a high variance. He can be a boom or bust player. He may not even get the ABs, or if he gets them, he might struggle. So, again, that's why the buy-in needs to be really low on these. Here's a guy that's been around for a while, but he's with a new team. So Randy Arozarena, he's already an October legend. He's got playoff moments that are burned into people's memories. If he can do that again in Seattle, he'll see a surge again. All you need is some clutch moments. The risk is he's already hyped a little bit and a more known commodity, so his ceiling may be a little lower. So those would be my five picks in some really low-end value boxes. Just looking at them from a risk-reward standpoint, the best choices there would be Addison Barger and Dominic Canzoni. Most speculative would be Chase DeLauder because he's in his debut, and you've never seen him in that spot before. Randy Arozarena, like I said, he's safe, but he's got a limited upside. And then Garrett Crochet is the wild card because pitchers are always kind of a wild card in my mind in the hobby. Their values are always suppressed a little bit unless you get those big Hall of Famers, right?
You know who's a sure thing out of value boxes though?
Who is?
Teddy Two Gloves.
Teddy Two Gloves. Did you see his new commercial where he's the backup listener?
No.
Yeah, he's got.
No.
I think it's an insurance company or something, and it's like a husband and wife, and the husband isn't listening, and Teddy comes in. He's like, Teddy Bridgewater, backup listener, and then the wife puts him in to hear what she's trying to tell him.
No, but I love that. That sounds great. He he got in trouble for like buying some of his football players like food and stuff, which is very strange.
Right.
Did you hear about that?
I did. Yeah.
Like, what an odd penalty for something like that. But
rules are rules.
Poor Teddy.
I mean,
yeah.
There's not. It's okay in this situation, but not in that situation. It's just none at all.
Yeah. But sometimes you have to use like common sense too, and not just well, this is what's written down.
Yeah.
Lawyers are good for that. Well, that's not what's written down. Well, Jesus, use your freaking brain.
Right.
So
anyway. Max says those were some deep picks, and you're absolutely right. That was what I was looking for there. But the thing is, like, those players are so undervalued that you can probably find some numbered stuff. You'll find those rookie cards. I know I've seen those rookie cards in less than $1 box.
Sure.
So they have the potential for a quick profit if these guys can, do something to catch the media's eye in a game and get some replays on YouTube and Twitter and IG.
This Hall of Famer was in a quarter box. Really nice, high quality rookie card.
Yeah, $1.99. I'll find buyers for that all day.
No, that's a $4.99 card.
Not for me.
You're gonna scrape my sales anyway. Go look at Tony Gonzalez stuff. You'll see some decent stuff in there.
Your stuff defies logic a lot of times.
Yep. That's what I try to do.
I know it's great for you.
It is. It works. Let's end this here. We're at 10:21. We're 2 hours and 15 minutes in, so I think we got through. We could get through this week. We'll hold some back for next week. Shoot us some ideas. If you're watching this live, let us know. Do you like this did you like the games we did tonight? Do you like what are we looking for in the boxes? And then if you got any other ideas, we're always looking for something new. Something that doesn't take a lot of high production. We're very busy, so Charlie's better at that than me, but yeah. And I know AI is our friend now too, so that helps. But yeah, we want feedback from you guys because we do this, so that everybody here can be participatory in it. If you're not watching us live, well, even if you are watching us live, we're live every Wednesday, 8 Central Standard Time, so don't forget to tune in. If you subscribe to the channel and ring the bell to be notified, we'll always send you a notification that the live show is going to be starting, so you don't have to worry about trying to remember when it is. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed yourselves tonight. The Patreon is walking across here. If you want to contribute to the channel, you can do that there. Then also our Discord. Join our Discord. It's free. We have lots of great discussions on there, just like we had tonight. So we'd love to see all of you there. If you're not currently there, please join us. Anything else? That's it, dude. I'm done. It's my birthday. I'm going to take a nap. And then I'm going to go back to some more work. Well, right now I'm scanning, what are these? Power Rangers cards. So I'm going to finish some Power Rangers cards and get that stuff in the files. And then I'll I'll be napping.
It's one final thought from Snappy. He said he loved hearing our thoughts on pricing, and it doesn't cost. Let's see, it doesn't cost much for hobby or burn. Oh, hobby or no. Yeah. Yeah. It's hobby or no is fun, but there's a little more production value in that, so it takes a little time to set that up, right? Or hobby or burn would be a good idea as well.
And we just light cards on fire or what?
Yeah, we've talked about that before, right? Because I remember telling you
It's
you're
happened.
going to do the burning on your end. I'm not going to
Yeah.
make that mess here.
Yeah. That's fine. That's fine. I can do that.
All right. Well, final notes. Remember, if you see the goat, you're going to see some of the greatest of all time.
And you can't sell what you don't list. So list it for the price you want. Be willing to accept a fair price, and things will go very well. We'll see you all next week.